Hey guys, hey, I just want to share with you, we're doing another window and I have learned a few tricks on this. I'm going to show you how to do this window and get it sealed, pulled out, installed, cut out and everything, and installed and sealed in one day so that you're not sitting overnight with no window in it. So I wanted to give you an example. This is our side windows. My fishing rod holder's in the way, but I don't know if you can see. I wanted to try to show you the crazing that's in it. It's little micro cracks, so you can't buff it out. And you can see the sun shining on them, which makes visibility out very hard. So I wanted to share something else with you. So this is the new acrylic. And this is what I'm putting. This I cut off the outside edge right there. And I just wanted to show you the difference on the new, how much flex it's got in it. You see that? That is a lot of flex. And that's even with the saw edges on there, not sanded or routed. So that's pretty forgiving. But as I was trying to remove this, it just snapped in half. It broke in several pieces. And what I've done is I've laid out where it was going to be painted on the paper, the back of the acrylic. Then I use a utility knife to cut the paper so that I can pull this off, and basically it's like masking it off with tape. And I don't have to waste the time to do that. And it keeps the surface that I'm going to be visible from being scratched while we're working on it. So we're going to remove this, and then we're going to sand in between all the exposed area to get a good bond. Hey guys, this is I got my acrylic is cut out. I drilled all my holes. Check out my other video on all the details on doing that. I'm just trying to give you an update on how to do this in one day. And before, all of this outside edging had to be painted, and then I had to wait for it to dry and then come back and install it a day or so later. So what I figured out was I'm using this sealant, this Dow Seal 795, and I am painting the parts that are going to would have been painted with paint. And since I'm going to put a bead of that all the way around for the to adhere to the boat, the hull of the boat, then it's gonna match it. This is going to get me in get this installed in one day. I'm using a small brush. I'm gonna paint this on and use it as paint. I have removed the backing on the acrylic, and I have sanded all of this so I can get a good bond. But this is going to make it where I can put this in today. So this is the part I was telling about. This is 2 pieces of that acrylic, and I put some of the sealant between it and bolted it down, and it has smashed it to where it is just thin like a piece of paper. I think you can barely see it, seeing the edge of that. So that's not a lot of sealant, and with the stuff heating and contracting, expanding and contracting from the heat, that bond's going to break free. And here's one that I mocked up that's kind of like my windows. I put that spacer in there, and if you can see through there, that Dow Seal 795 has made basically like a giant rubber washer once it's cured. That gives it room to flex when the sun gets hot. When the 2 pieces are expanding and contracting, I know the fiberglass and this acrylic is going to expand and contract at different rates, and you got to have some movement. And that's my thoughts are that having that thick sealant in there like a washer is going to allow it to expand and contract and move a little bit without breaking free. That's what I did. That's what worked for me. Find something that works for you and stick to it, guys. Hope this helps you out. Let me know in the comments if that works for you. So right now I'm just cleaning I've got the glass off. I'm cleaning off all of the sealant that's on there. I have pre-taped all and everything. I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of detail on this video, but go back and check my other 2 videos on how to change out the windows single-handed, and you'll get the other details that aren't covered on this particular spot, this particular segment. So we're gonna get this all dressed up. In the previous video, I showed you about putting screws in to hold the molding in. Somebody had already done this window. You see the screws here, they're countersunk. They go in the molding to hold it on. But if you look really close here, you can see that little gap there where that plexiglass flexes. I mean the fiberglass flexes. I know when you put a screw in from the outside, it'll pull it in. But I believe it holds out the plastic, and it's becomes undulated. Here's another one here. It's pretty thick. So I've drilled holes in here and countersunk them, and I'm putting screws in to make this as flat and smooth and the least movement. I don't want it to move. That's one of the little tips I'm sharing with you. We don't want this to flex when the sun's out. The other screws can be in spots where it's not going to secure it very tight. So we're going to just beef that up a little bit. I'm working on sanding off the surface where the adhesive is going to go. Guys, I don't care how clean you get it. If you do not sand this surface, your sealant won't bond. If you sand it and wipe it down to get the dust off of it, you're going to have a good bond to it, and you're not going to have an issue later. I don't like doing it the first time. I definitely don't want to do it again. Make sure you sand that surface. As just as before, I've got my little teak blocks super glued to the tape, and I've got my sealant run around, covering all my screw holes. So if there's any ones that are just no screws are going into, it's sealing the hole. I've got my plastic acrylics is painted all with the sealant also, and I'm going to drop this in. Sitting that on them blocks of wood. Put in some screws temporarily. Hey, here's how we're doing this now. I am putting the spacers on the inside. I put some on the outside temporarily, but I'm putting the spacers on the inside of the window. That way I can go ahead and seal the outside. And I'm using those tile spacers. I can pull these out later and caulk the inside. So last thing, guys, I taped my molding off to the edge of it, and I'm gonna fill that in with caulking like I have right here on the side, all the way up to where I've cut the paper. And then I'll peel all that off, and it'll be a finished product. I'm pulling the paper off, and it leaves a nice finished line around it. So you can see the sealant around the edge. And I got a new window in, man. Well, there we have it. It is cut, installed, and sealed in. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I gotta clean this mess up. I hope all these little tips help you out, guys. Give me a shout in the comments, let me know.